Imagine being the underdog in an upcoming presidential elections and later winning the presidency with just a little over 40,000 votes in a country of about 24 million people. Crazy, right? Well, that is the number of votes that made Professor John Evans Atta-Mills the president of Ghana in a fiercely contested election.
In context, 40,000 votes is like filling the Baba Yara Sports Stadium in Kumasi to its full capacity. This is the story of the road to the Jubilee House, the 2008 Ghana presidential elections, and how Professor John Evans Atta-Mills and the NDC snatched the presidency away from Addo Dankwa Akuffo-Addo and the NPP.
My brothers and sisters, the signs are clear. Ghanaians say they don't want to move forward with corruption. They don't want to move forward with cocaine. They don't want to move forward with arrogance. They don't want to move forward with economic hardship. They don't want to move forward with a divided country. They want to move in a different direction. Yes, it's him. Yes, it's him. Yes, it's him.
December 7th, 2008 was a big decision day in Ghana. The era of President John Agyekum Kuffour as the second president under the Fourth Republic of the 1992 Constitution was coming to an end, and the country had to go to the polls to decide who would be the next president in the coming years. To the ruling new Patriotic Party NPP, this election was a coup job for them after having a massive campaign for their presidential candidate, Addo Dankwa Akuffo-Addo. This campaign rode on the back of the success of President Kuffour, who had a successful 8-year tenure of office and had transformed the country significantly through various projects and programs. But the opposition National Democratic Congress, the NDC, and its presidential candidate, Professor John Evans Atta-Mills, had other plans for them.
So, how did we get here? See, leading up to the 2008 presidential elections, these two main candidates were no strangers to the Ghanaian political scene. Addo Dankwa Akuffo-Addo was born into politics. His father, Addo Akufo-Addo, is one of the founding fathers of the nation. He was a lawyer and chairman of the Constitutional Commission that drafted the 1969 Constitution of Ghana. He later became president from August 1970 to January 1972, when he was disposed by General I.K Acheampong through a coup d'etat.
So, following his father's footsteps, Nana Akufo-Addo joined the new Patriotic Party with high hopes of becoming president of Ghana, just like his father. He contested for the party's presidential candidacy in previous elections, but lost to John Agyekum Kuffour, who eventually became president after winning the 2000 presidential elections. A lawyer by profession, he served as the Attorney General during Kuffour's first term of office from 2001 to 2003. He was later appointed as the Foreign Affairs Minister from 2003 until 2007, when he resigned from his position to contest for the party's presidential candidacy for the 2008 general elections, which he won by defeating Alan Kwadwo.
Professor Mills, on the other hand, was a senior lecturer at the University of Ghana. He later became the Commissioner for the Internal Revenue Service from 1993 to 1996. Before the 1996 general elections, Flight Lieutenant General John Hollins, who was then the president, appointed Professor John Evans Atta-Mills to be his running mate after his then Vice President Evans Atta-Mills switched from the ruling NDC to the opposition NPP.
Rawlings won the elections by defeating John Agyekum Kuffour, and Professor Mills became the new Vice President of Ghana for the next 4 years. After the end of Rawlings' tenure of office, Professor Mills runs for the presidency in the 2000 presidential elections under the ticket of the NDC, but was defeated by John Agyekum Kuffour in what many describe as one of the scariest elections ever held on the continent of Africa. He lost again to Kuffour in 2004, and by 2008, Professor Mills had built a formidable reputation in Ghanaian politics.
My brothers and sisters, we want no violence. We want no cheating. We don't want any bloodshed. I know that the good Lord himself has already blessed us. NDC will go back.
Choose a government that will take us forward to a brighter future, or choose a government ruled by agents of our dark days. Your vote will decide our path.
The election process is very well established, and I'm very optimistic that our elections will continue to be peaceful. I do not think that overall these elections are going to be characterized by violence. I don't think so.
The 2008 campaign season was filled with so many memorable events and slogans. Some popular slogans like "I believe in Ghana," "We are moving forward," "A better Ghana agenda," and "A president you can trust" were so popular and dominant in the media space.
Whilst Nana Akufo-Addo and the ruling NPP gained endorsement from notable Ghanaian musicians and celebrities, Professor Atta-Mills and the NDC focused on grassroots engagement. Most of the NPP rallies often resemble musical concerts with top artists such as Daddy Lumba, Sarkodie, Kobena Kobena, and others performing at these rallies across the country. There was also a major battle for the vice presidency in the northern part of the country, as both running mate Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia of the NPP and John Dramani Mahama of the NDC were both Northerners. Although the campaign season was not filled with widespread violence, this election was far from the ordinary. It will determine who will oversee the commencement of Ghana's oil production in the coming years.
See, the Kuffour administration in 2007 discovered oil in commercial quantity, and plans were on the way to start production in 2010. Experts projected that Ghana will be able to produce at least between 120,000 barrels a day to 250,000 barrels a day between 2010 to 2012. This will generate at least $1 billion revenue for the country. This was very significant to a country that solely relied on cocoa and gold. The production of oil in commercial quantities will become Ghana's top revenue generator, surpassing gold and cocoa. So, the stakes were high, and oil was the topic point in all the campaign platforms.
Election day began peacefully, but reports of clashes and allegations of malpractice soon emerged. The NDC accused the government of using security agencies to intimidate voters, whilst the NPP alleged that the NDC were engaging in cross-border voting in the Volta region. After voting ended around 5 p.m. and counting began, earlier projections suggested an Akufo-Addo victory. However, on December 10th, the Electoral Commission Chairman, Dr. Kojo Afarijan, announced that a runoff would be held, as no candidate had met the constitutional requirement of 50% plus one vote.
We count our votes at the polling station, then we give every party agent a copy of the signed results. After that, there's no counting anywhere. The next stage is just aggregation, putting the figures together to determine, the winner. The results as collated are as follows. Nana A.D. Akuffo-Addo. Votes obtained 4,159,439 votes. 4,159,439. And that represents 49.13% of the total valid votes cast. 49.13%. Representing 47.92%. You can all see that I'm tired. 47.92%. From the information that I have given, it is clear that no candidate got more than 50% of the valid votes cast in the presidential election. This means that there will be a second round or round-off of the presidential election. According to the provisions that I read earlier, the two candidates will be Nana A.D. Akuffo-Addo and John E. Atta-Mills. And the date of the runoff election will be December 28th.
This is where things got interesting and complex. See, though Akuffo-Addo was leading the presidential race, the NPP were losing seats in parliament. Before the elections, the NPP were having 128 out of the 230 seats in parliament. After the elections, they were just left with 108, meaning the NPP has just lost 20 seats in parliament in just a matter of days. Technically, these 20 seats went to the opposition NDC, who before the elections had only 94 seats in parliament. This made the NDC the majority in parliament even before the runoff election. So now, Ghanaians were left with two options: vote for Nana Addo Dankwa Akuffo-Addo as president with an NDC-controlled parliament, or vote for Professor John Evans Atta-Mills as his party already have the majority in parliament. This will shape the campaign strategy and the outcome of the runoff elections.
Talking is over, and all I ask, protect your ballot boxes the way you will protect and defend your ballot.
The campaign of lies and deceit has failed, so they are turning to the one instrument that they always use in difficulties: violence.
Turn it into an international airport. When you are traveling to Mecca, you don't need to go to Accra. You go from Tamale to Mecca and Mecca to Tamale.
are not going to put the destiny of our nation in the hands of these incompetent, unproductive, inefficient persons. We're not going to do that.
The runoff, held on December 28, was tense. Low turnout in the Ashanti region, an NPP stronghold, proved costly. Analysts later linked this to the fuel price hikes days before the elections. Meanwhile, Tyne district in the then Bono Ahafo region was unable to vote due to the logistical failures by the Electoral Commission. Voting there was rescheduled to January 2nd, 2009, and results were withheld until then.
Phenomenal about macho men. Since morning, it's all been macho men, macho men, macho men. What about macho men?
They can pull the strings, they can terrify people. You realize the physique of macho men, the muscles build up. They can help people get terrified when they see macho men around.
Take it down! I'll take the car. No, come on, hit me. Come on, hit me. Come on, hit me. Come on, hit me.
All of you, please leave.
Let's not see him, not hearing these things. These are facts. So somebody ought to do something to stop all these things.
The role of Ghanaian constituency will call up a round of elections. So at the moment, there's no election going on at 10 constituencies.
We want to see everything with our eyes. We want to see everything. Yes. We don't want anybody to steal.
We count our votes at the polling station, then we give every party agent a copy of the signed results. After that, there's no counting anywhere. The next stage is just aggregation, putting the figures together to determine, the winner.
9, 10, 11, 12.
We have been meeting with the representative of the political parties, trying to iron out some difficulties over the results.
And the results are as follows.
You must remember that for circumstances, as we say in Ghana, beyond our control, we were unable to hold the elections in the Tyne constituency. The results are so close that the result of the Tyne constituency could affect the eventual winner. So we have decided to run the election in Tyne on Friday.
Atta-Mills is in the lead, but as we said, the difference is 6.
What he said? He said that
We have one more constituency, that is the Tyne constituency. They have not voted, and I don't know the reason why they have not voted. I believe there is a problem there, and I know that this election, yes, we are going to win at the Tyne constituency.
With Professor Mills taking a slight lead, Tai district became the focal point of the elections. Violence erupted, prompting President Kuffour to cut short his campaign visit to the area. The NPP then sought a court injunction to postpone the election, stating that the atmosphere in the rural district is not conducive for free and fair elections.
The court dismissed the injunction, noting that it will be able to sit for the hearing on January 5th, 2009. The party subsequently boycotted the Tai election, of which many international bodies criticized them for that decision. In the end, Professor John Evans Atta-Mills won with 50.23%, beating Akufo-Addo by just a little over 40,000 votes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. From all indications, it appears that you have won the elections.
It's been a long but enjoyable struggle, and I'm very grateful to the people for the confidence that they have reposed in Atta-Mills and in the NDC.
So thank you.
All right.
Professor John Evans Atta-Mills was sworn in as the third president under the Fourth Republic on January 7th, 2009. He couldn't finish his first term of office as he passed away on 24th of July, 2012. His vice president, John Dramani Mahama, took over from him and later defeated Addo Dankwa Akuffo-Addo in the 2012 elections. An elections many people regard as one of the most controversial elections ever held in Ghana and across the continent of Africa. Thank you for watching. See you another time.